There was Bermuda Sports Federation All-Stars, football, golf, road running, and track and field. We had a lot of sports this weekend. Hi, I'm Earl Baston with the January 11th Islandstats Sports Report. We'll have those stories and much more after this message. A packed house was on hand at the Summersfield Academy on Friday evening for two matches at the Bermuda Sports Federation's All-Star Volleyball. The first match of the day saw the Orange Select team win the senior school girls volleyball match in 3 sets. The Yellow Select team came out and took an early lead before winning the first set 25-14. The Orange team regrouped and won the second game 25-17. They kept the momentum going by winning the third and deciding set 11-8. Cy McPeak of Salters Grammar School was named the MVP for the yellow team, while Jade Weaver from Bermuda High School was the MVP for the winners. The senior school boys volleyball match also needed a tiebreaker to determine a winner. The Yellow Select team won the first game 25-18, but the Orange Select team evened the match at 1-1 when they won the second game 25-23. The Yellow team pulled away in the third and deciding set 18-14. Corey Seamus from Mount St. Agnes won the MVP honors for the Orange team, while Jax DeValley from Work Academy was the MVP for the Yellow team. The house remained packed as the Bermuda Sports Federation's All-Star Netball night took center stage. The first match of the day saw the West score 8 fourth-quarter points to pull away and win the middle school girls netball match. The two teams were evenly matched through 3 quarters, with the West leading 10-9. The West would pull away in the fourth, winning 18-13. MVP Kamala Nazir from TN Tatum led the West with 10 goals. The East was led by Christina Costello from Summersfield Academy, who was also the MVP. She scored 7 goals. The West again used a strong fourth quarter to win the primary school girls match 14-11. MVP Arena Sabir from West End Primary led the West with 8 goals. The East were led by MVP Alexia Pascal from Francis Patton, who scored 6 goals. The Orange Select team scored early and often, winning the senior school girls match 23-16. The Orange team were led by Inshanae Smith from Cedar Bridge Academy, who scored 14 goals. MVP Amali Smith from Barclay Institute chipped in with 2. The yellow team got 8 goals each from Cedar Bridge pair Denari Robinson and Axana Hunt. Cedar Bridge's D'Amico Daniels was the MVP for her team. Krista Stwanik and Dion Berry are the 2016 Goslings to Fairmont Southampton male and female champions. Quincy Kuziak and Lindsay Palmer are the male and female junior champions. This after the event took place yesterday. Estwanic led from start to finish, crossing the line in a time of 37-11. Spencer Butterfield was second with a time of 42-32, and Neil DeSinqua rounded out the podium, clocking a time of 44-47. Brewery was the 7th runner to cross the line, recording a time of 47.04. Gail Lindsay was the second female finisher and 16th overall, clocking 50.18. Krista Dyer was the 3rd female finisher with a time of 50.54, finishing 17th overall. Kuzak battled Ryan Otterbridge onto the Fairmont property, but he was able to outleg Otterbridge, recording a winning time of 8.45, with Otterbridge clocking 8.50 and Tommy Marshall finishing in 3rd in 9.14. Palmer was 5th overall with a time of 9.33. Jessie Marshall was the 6th runner to cross the line and the 2nd female finisher with a time of 9.59. And the next runner to cross the line had the same time, but Holly Bruton was adjudged to be 7th overall and the 3rd female finisher. Mike Watson has taken Bermuda racewalking to a new level when he put almost 9 minutes on the field, crossing the line in a time of 1:11.55. The Bacardi National Par 3 Championships came to an end at the Fairmont Southampton Turtle Hill Golf Course. Dwayne Pearman was the only golfer over the 2 days to go under par. He did it 2 days in a row. Pearman won the professional division comfortably at 2 under par, with Brian Morris finishing 2nd with a fine even par 54 on the day. On his 2nd hole of the day, Morris sunk this 30-footer for birdie, and he never looked back, finishing with a score of 116, alongside Scott Roy, who shot 3 over par 57. Javon Roberts won the amateur division on countback from Spencer Weidman after Weidman bogeyed the last 3 holes of his round. Both players shot 4 over par 112 over the 2 days, with Damian Paliande 3rd, 4 strokes back. Ebony Burgess began the day 5 strokes off the ladies' division leader. She managed to come from behind with a fine 2 over par 56, recording a 5-stroke victory over Tracy Nash. Craig Christensen won the seniors division again after Jerome Bradshaw stumbled to a 69. Each division winner won free entry into the Grey Goose World Par 3 Championships in March. 25 goals were scored in the 8 Premier and First Division matches held over the weekend. At the Bernard Park, the North Village Rams defeated the visiting PHC Zebras 2-0. Pierre Smith gave the home team the lead in the 26th minute when he converted from the penalty spot. Dekai Grant doubled the lead in the 87th minute as the visitors went back to work without a goal. At the Somerset Cricket Club, it was 4 goals shared between the Somerset Trojans and the Boulevard Blazers as they played to a 2-2 draw. Ty Vince Douglas gave the Boulevard Blazers the lead in the 7th minute, only to have Trevin Ming equalize for the Somerset Trojans in the 23rd minute. Jonathan Bean gave the Somerset Trojans the lead 2 minutes later when he found the back of the net, but Nico Smith would draw the Boulevard Blazers level in the 37th minute as the two teams shared the points. At the police field, visitors Hamilton Parish picked up 3 valuable points in their bid to get away from the relegation zone with a 3-1 victory over Devonshire Colts. Donovan Thompson gave Hamilton Parish the lead in the 32nd minute. Thompson would double that lead in the 35th minute. And when Chris Casey scored in the 62nd minute from the penalty spot, Hamilton Parish held a 3-0 lead. However, 4 minutes later, Vernell Lamb scored for the Devonshire Colts, but it was all the goals scored in the match. At St. John's Field, Robin Hood closed the Dandytown Hornets Premier Division League lead to 6 points after they were able to come away with a 1-0 win with an injury time penalty kick from Antoine Russell. At the Garrison Field, Young Man's Social Club and Crossroads played to a 2-2 draw. Sakai Tuzo opened the scoring for Young Man's Social Club, finding the back of the net in the 12th minute. Clay Darrell would double the visitors' lead when he scored in the 30th minute. But in the 59th minute, Paul Simons would pull the Crossroads back into the game, and then 3 minutes later, Simons would score again as the two teams ended level. At Lords and St. David's, Willie Clemens gave BAA the lead in the 5th minute, only to have Cundiff Burton equalize for St. David's in the 64th minute as the two teams shared the points. At the White Hill Field, Nathan Rigo scored twice to lead the Somerset Eagles to a 4-2 victory over Ireland Rangers. Jordan Santos and Rashawn Seaman added a goal each for the home team, while Sakai Proctor and Janai Raddery scored a goal each for the visitors. On Saturday night, Flanagan's Onions moved to the top of the First Division standings following their 2-1 win over St. George's Colts at the BAA Field. Michael Lindsay Bailey opened the scoring for the Flanagan's Onions when he found the back of the net in the 13th minute. 20 minutes later, it was 2-0 to Flanagan's Onions when Trayshawn Smith scored. Mitchell Tucker pulled a goal back for the St. George's Colts, finding the back of the net in the 73rd minute, but the visitors could not find the equalizer as the Flanagan's Onions hung on for the win. The Corona League was just as exciting over the weekend with 16 goals scored in 4 games. West End United went up 3-0 within the first 10 minutes of the game. Ex-Tough Dogs player Lamar Crofton scored twice, while Trevor Corday added the other. Jeff Franklin scored twice for Tough Dogs before Kevin Hurdle would score the equalizer as the two teams played to a 3-3 draw. In other Corona League action, it was BAA 4, Lock and Key 2, North Village Rams 1, Butterfield and Valors 0, Robin Hood 3, and Flanagan's Onions 0. 3 of Bermuda's overseas players were in their teams over the weekend in England. Nicky Rouse' stoppage time penalty rescued a 2-2 draw for Huddersfield in their FA Cup third round match against Reading at John Smith Stadium. Rai Simons' Chesterfield came out 3-2 winners at Rochdale to make it back-to-back wins for Denny Wilson's men in Sky Bet League 1 action. Simons watched the game from the bench. Reggie Lamb and his Mansfield Town teammates pushed themselves back into Sky Bet League 2 playoff reckoning with a 2-1 win over struggling Stevenage. Kyrus Gradus and Janai Parentchief represented Iowa Central Community College at the Minnesota State Alumni Open Indoor Track and Field Meet. Skraders ranked third in the women's 600 meters, running this event for the first time. She clocked a winning time of 1:38.55. Skraders also clocked the second fastest time of 3:13.37, competing in the women's 1,000 meters. She finished behind Keegan Day, who clocked 3:12.40. Parentchief won the men's high jump with a top leap of 2.16 meters. Parentchief entered the event with the bar set at 1.91 meters. He recorded a clear on each of his first attempts until the bar was raised to the 2.19 meter mark, where he then failed to clear. Parentchief also competed in the boys 200 meters, where he finished 5th in Heat 4 and 18th overall with a time of 24:12. Meanwhile, on home soil, track and field athletes took to the National Sports Center track to compete in the first Bermuda National Athletic Association track meet of 2016. Chase Smith clocked 4:14 on his way to winning the Open Boys 1,500-meter run, while Ethan Phillips won the Under-20 Boys 400-meter dash, crossing the line at a time of 54:01. Tajay Taylor clocked 55:84 to finish second, and Brent Burke finished third, clocking 57:11. The Under-18 girls 400-meter dash was won by Ali Bolin, who crossed the line at a time of 1:04.24. Destiny Hill finished second in 1:07.31, and Zaquila Trott finished third with a time of 1:08.75. Clocking a time of 14:38, Lacrae DeGrilla won the Under-13 girls 100-meter dash. Maya Dolan finished second in a time of 15:13, and Jada Hayward finished third in 15:57. Bermuda Olympian Roy Allen Birch made the front page of the Charlotte Observer. In the story, Birch, Bermuda's greatest swimmer, talks about how he finds heartbreak inspiration in Charlotte.
Staying with swimming news, Ashley Yearwood and her Denison women's swimming and diving teammates dropped a very close 161 to 139 decision to NCAA Division I foe Ohio University at the Turnbull Aquatic Center.
Yearwood helped pace Denison with 4 top 3 finishes. As part of the relay team, Yearwood and her teammates opened the event with a victory in the women's 200-meter medley relay, touching the wall in a time of 1:44.88. Yearwood became a multiple winner in the final event of the meet, the women's 200 freestyle relay, where she helped Denison record a time of 1:34.54. Yearwood was runner-up in the women's 100-meter backstroke when she was clocked at 58.19, and she would finish third in the women's 200-meter backstroke with a time of 2:10.27.
In harness pony racing at the National Equestrian Center on Vesey Street, so the second half of racing hosted the best of 3 stake races.
In the best of 3 3-year-old stake race, Simsfield Hard Times with Ryan Burrows in the bike clocked a winning time of 1:06.3. IC's Overextended and Charles White Jr. clocked 1:08.3. Race 1 of the best of 3 4-year-olds saw Pocket the Girl with Philip Correa in the bike clock a winning time of 1:06 flat. Custard the Dragon and Andy Stoneham finished second in 1:08.1, while Inward's Generation and Casey Trewin finished third in a time of 1:08.2. A Touch of Red and Ryan Manders finished fourth in a time of 1:08.3. Race 1 for the age ponies was an exciting race with horses and bikes coming within centimeters of each other. GV Crystal Ball and Andrew Westerfield crossed the line first in a time of 1:05.3. IC Shakedown and Philip Correa was ruled second with a time of 1:05.3. Abbey Stream and Casey Trewin was third in a time of 1:06.1. Bronus Mike with Lucas Bridges in the bike clocked 1:07.2.
The Longtails opened 2016 with a 2-1 win over the Bluebirds in Bermuda Hockey Federation's Women's Division action at the National Sports Center on Saturday.
After a scoreless first half, the Longtails took the lead in the 59th minute with a field goal off the stick of Tiara Correa. Selena Witter doubled the Longtails' lead when she scored from a penalty corner in the 63rd minute. The Bluebirds would get on the scoreboard in the 70th minute with a field goal off the stick of Andrea Can.
The Bermuda Netball Association hosted the Unity Tournaments and the Who's Who Tournament at Bernard Park on Saturday.
The double elimination Unity Tournament saw the Baby Blazin win the Under-12 division, while the Nets Whites won the Under-14 division. The Norfolk Lady Rams took the titles in both the Under-16 Unity Division Tournament and the Who's Who Senior Division. Blazin defeated the Norfolk Lady Rams in the Under-12 division final 8-4, while the Nets Whites went undefeated in the Under-14 division. The Norfolk Lady Rams collected the only win in the Under-16 division, and the Who's Who's tournament, the Norfolk Lady Rams went undefeated.
The final Bermuda Bicycle Association cyclocross race took place at Aswood Cove.
Matthew Oliveira took the overall win ahead of a resurgent Deshae Smith and Mark Hatherley. In the women's category, Alyssa Rouse took the win over Tristan Narroway, with Joanne Medeiros finishing second. In the under-15 race, brothers Manning and Gordon Smith finished first and third, with Ajay Smith finishing in second.
The Bermuda Karting Club's Linda's group of companies, Why Go Anyplace Else season continued at the Southside Raceway.
Jason North won 2 of the 3 tag senior class races on the day, with Amber Lopes picking up the other win. Owen DeCosta won 2 of the 3 races in the tag junior class, while Blake Horseman had a win and a second-place finish. Horseman also picked up a third. Jamie Newton won all 3 races in the cadet junior class. Ryan Burgess recorded 2 second-place finishes, while Niall Bean got the other second-place finish. Shannon Casey was once again dominant, winning all 3 races in the shifter modified class, with David Sally finishing second 3 times. Ryan Rebello took the checkered flag 3 times in the shifter stock class.
Matthew and John Lejour began competing in Steamboat Springs, Colorado, as the first Rocky Mountains freestyle event of the year got underway.
Both Lejours had good starts to the event in the field of 56 male competitors. Matthew Lejour finished fourth with a score of 82-84. He clocked a downhill time of 28:41. John Lejour finished 20th with a score of 64:56, clocking a downhill time of 33:02.
Unlike previous years, the George Dockett Memorial Rugby Tournament at the Police Field did not draw a large crowd.
This, the 43rd year since the inaugural Dockett Memorial Rugby match took place, it saw the women's Bermuda Police Rugby Football second team take on the rest in the opener. The women's Bermuda Police Rugby's first team then took on the rest. The men's Bermuda Rugby Football second team defeated the under-19 Select, and then in the Dockett Memorial match, the Bermuda Police first team defeated the Bermuda Select 40-24.
The first M32 Series Bermuda event saw 5 boats hit the waters of Bermuda.
7 races were held on day 2 to go with the 8 races on day 1, with the Kovacs team, skippered by Don Wilson, having the best finish overall, and he finished the 15-race event on top of the standings with 27 points. Joint day 1 leaders, the Magnata Project team with skipper Sally Barco, recorded 3 wins, 3 second-place finishes to go along with a third on day 2. She finished second with 28 points. Charlie Enright and his 11th Hour Racing team had a mixed day on day 2. They found themselves in third overall with 52 points.
Thank you for joining. I'm Earl Baston with January 11th Islandstats Sports Report. Do enjoy the rest of your day.